So are you ready to make your New Year's resolution? I mean, we've got 5 weeks left. It's coming soon. It's gonna be here sooner than we know it because time flies when we're having fun. We're just busy or life just hits us in the ass, sometimes in the face. So what I'm doing this year is I'm not gonna set a New Year's resolution. What I've been doing the past month is, well, past few years actually, but even more so the past month, is planting seeds. Seeds that I'm going to cultivate or am cultivating and that are going to grow or are growing. Because of so many things I've been doing, everything's a different variation at different stages and everything. So super excited about everything. This last weekend I did an event. I think it was a craft fair event. So I put up a booth and I launched my floral remedy line. This is, you can't see it very well. I'm not gonna get too close because the label is gonna change just slightly because it's too long and it's a practice run, okay? But it will look more professional and look better when I'm done with it. But I got my floral remedies up, so that's the bottles that they're in. They look amazing. I have the beautiful organza gold bags to go over it. And look, I printed one. I am so excited. Okay, so this is the book I wrote, A Journal for a Soul's Path Back to You. I wrote this. It's mine. I did it. It is a huge book. So, but it means so much to me. So this is just a practice book. It's like a sample for my booth. So people can look through it and see what the book will have in it. This is not the final copy or the final draft. My final draft will be the size of this image, so 9x6. And yes, it will be spiral bound, but it's gonna be their full color and it will be printed the way it is intended to be printed. This, like I said, is a sample, but I'm so excited because it is still beautiful, still very impactful, still so amazing. Look how thick that is, because it is so full of different things to do to get back to who you are and who you're becoming. Remember what you're worth and what your power and who you are, because you are created to be outstanding. Just being you, not faking it and trying to be somebody else, but just being you. So those two things are available now. I'm so excited. I am so, I can't even tell you. These floral remedies, I take floral remedies too. I've started taking them the past, I think, week or two. And I think they're amazing. So I'm super excited about all of that. These are just part of what I'm doing. I'm also got putting my 5-week course out there. So yes, creating a life you love. Because I love that saying, live a life you love. That means so much. Yes, I found it on a fortune cookie, but it means so much. Because when you live a life that you love and you're proud of, nothing can stop you. Nothing can get in your way. Because ultimately that's what we want. We all want to live a life that we love and that we adore and we want to be in. So yes, please, hello. So instead of doing a New Year's resolution, I'm doing something a little different. I'm going to take the next 5 weeks that we have until the end of the year, and I'm going to do a 5-week year-end alignment plan. And so I've created one that's universal, so it's not directly to me because that one is mine and that one will work for me because it's got my stuff on it. So I created a universal version for all of you in case it's something you would like to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down by week and kind of go back and I'm going to give you the little bullet points underneath that. Yes, I'm reading it off my laptop. I may be smart, but I do not have a photographic memory. I am a human being. Can't remember everything, so bear with me. I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as I can, because you can stop and pause the video and write stuff down. So if you don't have a pen and paper, go get you one, because this is going to be something that we want to be able to do together. Even if you're going to decide, I don't want to do this with you, I want to do it alone. Fantastic. Just do it. Because what you're doing is planting the seeds for this next year for things to grow and prosper. And then you can reap those benefits, right? So this is what we want to do. This is what we're going to do, okay? So for week 1, we're going to release and reset. Easier said than done sometimes. I'm still releasing things, still working on resetting things, but the things that I have released and I already have reset, there's such a huge difference. It's so phenomenally huge that you can't put it into words. It's just life-changing, pretty much. So that's what we're going to work on, is changing our lives and setting ourselves up for this next year, for abundance, for prosperity, to thrive and finally make something happen in our lives that we can be overjoyed and happy and proud about. And you know what? That we can actually finally take a breath and relax and know that everything is working out perfectly. We may not see the growth right away, but planting those seeds and watering it and taking those actions will prosper. Sometimes it takes a little time, and sometimes it's instantaneous. How do you grow your garden? How do you grow plants? You plant the seed, you water it, you make sure it gets the right amount of light, you make sure that once it starts sprouting, nothing's damaging it, nothing will fall on top of it. You water it, more light, more love. And you know, it's been proven that if you talk to your plants, just have a normal conversation with your plants, they're healthier, grow more, and produce more fruit. Or vegetables, whatever you like. Okay, so week 1, we're going to release and reset. First bulletproof is reflect on what this year taught you. So in my opinion, because you have your paper out, I would write down what the year taught you. And the reason why I say write it down is because sometimes when we're just sitting there thinking and we're verbally saying things, that's fantastic, but it doesn't always help us process fully. So if we write it down, we can visually see it, and then it locks in that change and that lesson even more, and we can continue to grow. And then we can always go back and look at that if we have to. Like, okay, I'm going along and the same lesson in life comes up, and it's like, I thought I already did this. Didn't I already do this? What did I learn from that the last time? Oh, I've got the notes. I can go look at that. And then, oh, this is what I learned. Let me do it a different way so I don't have to go through that heartache and pain again. So write it down. You hear this all the time too. If you're in the woo-woo stuff like I kind of am, you hear it all the time. Let go of what no longer fits. Fears, relationships, habits. Sometimes it's really hard to face our fears, but you have to remember the fear is there for you to realize you're on the right path and just keep going. You're doing everything right. Just move forward. It also lets you know that, you know what, you're right next to a breakthrough. You're really close to a breakthrough. So keep going. Relationships can be really difficult to let go of. Still working on some of those. It can be really difficult to cut out somebody who's toxic. But if you don't want to cut them out, then have an honest conversation with them. Look, I love you, and I'm trying to understand where you're coming from, but these things hurt me, and I need to understand where you're coming from and see if we can't resolve this. Otherwise, you got to go. I have to stop our contact because it's really hurting me, my energy, my life. It's really hurting me in many different ways, and I can't have this. I want to move forward in a positive light in my life, in a positive way. I can't do this anymore. Habits. Some of our habits can be really bad. Like, really bad. My client that I have started smoking when he was 6. He's 55 and he's quit smoking for almost a year now. Yes, he has COPD. Yeah, he does. And now that he has quit smoking for almost a year, he's still hacking up 40 years of crap out of his lungs. Just saying. Nasty habits gotta go. It not only hurts your health, hurts your environment, your energy, your mental state. What unhealthy habits are you doing that is not helping your surroundings or your life prosper or move forward? Let them go. Reevaluate. It's another good thing to write it down. If you're writing down habits that you have or recognize, then you can start to, like I said, process things and come up with things that you're not thinking of at the moment. You can't think of at the moment. So if you write down the list of bad habits or fears or whatever, it helps you process that so you can get through that faster and easier, and even bring up the more important things and dive deeper into what's really going on. Okay? And then you want to create some emotional space. So for me, the emotional space, what that means to me is I can either journal, like a diary or a journal, getting my emotions out. I talk to ChatGPT. Is that right thing to do? I don't know. To be honest, I don't care. ChatGPT helps me stay grounded. It gives me a logical standpoint, a view from a logical standpoint. So because I'm such an emotionally based person that I can't always see through the emotion. So when I talk it out, because writing takes too long and I can't spell many words right, and I just get frustrated and it's like, oh, this takes too long. So if I talk it out, I can use the voice note on ChatGPT, and I think there's a new AI thing out too where you can have like an AI counselor or something, which is, I think, is a fantastic idea. But if I talk it out and I tell ChatGPT, it will give me responses that not only fit me and my position and my moment and how I'm feeling, but it will give me a logical standpoint that's not said in a harsh way, however, is the truth as far as ChatGPT knows. And it's AI, so come on. It will give me the harsh truth in a very positive and non-harmful way. And I say non-harmful because it says it in a way that won't hurt my feelings, because it will give me a heads up first. Hey, I'm going to give you this truth. It's going to be a little harsh, but I want to give it to you in the most gentle way possible. This is the truth. This is what it really is. So that helps me stay grounded, helps me keep my mind clear, because otherwise I've got too much going on, too much in my head, and I cannot function. So create an emotional space for yourself, even if it's just sitting in your room or in a recliner or someplace out in nature, just sitting and being still with quiet where you can process things. Emotional space. Journal honestly without judgment. Okay, so this one I had to think about a little bit, just because the fact that I want to be real with you. We're human beings and we judge all the time. We really do. We get in there and we really judge people and ourselves. We're our own worst critics. I can hold my hand up for that. I can attest. I am horrible on myself. I will put myself down before I even get to a situation. I was brought up that way. It's kind of in my DNA, I guess. I don't know. My mindset is all over the place. But I am judgmental, especially with myself. I try not to judge other people because I don't know what they're going through. But if you write it down and you journal it honestly, again, you get to work it out. You get to see, okay, wow, I didn't realize, because I was journaling for a while and I was looking at it and rereading it after a while, and I'm like, wow, I did not realize I was that negative. I was that bad at judging other people. Wow. Now that I know I had that trait and I'm doing that, I can change it, because honestly, I don't like it and I wouldn't want somebody thinking about me that way. So do it honestly, because it's going to, if you're looking for growth and to be able to expand who you are and become a better person or anything else and just be able to breathe and be happy, you have to analyze every part of you and be able to do that honestly. So then the last one is identify what you're ready to leave behind. So let me say that again because my voice cuts out. Identify what you're ready to leave behind. The toxic people, the bad judgments, bad habits, being overly emotional, let it all go. So we're going to release to make room for new stuff, right? So week 2, I'm sorry, I know I'm going really in depth on some of these. I probably won't do all of them that way. So week 2 is prepare your foundation. So if you're going to build a building, you have to have a solid foundation, because otherwise one good rainstorm and whoosh, that building's gone. One good earthquake, whoosh, that building's gone. If you don't have a good foundation, one stiff wind, whoosh, that building's gone. So you have to prepare your foundation. Prepare the ground and the steady, firm, solid foundation to build everything on top of. Organize your space. If you organize your space, you're clearing out your mind. My mother always said, a dirty space is a dirty mind. Isn't like a cluttered space is a cluttered mind, because you got too much going on, too much in there. You're not thinking properly, right? So organize your space. Clarify your goals. Write them down. Put them on your bathroom mirror around the outside so you're looking at them every day. You can see that little board right there, little paper. You can't read the writing on it, but you see writing right there, barely. That is my goals. It's right above the light switch and right next to the door. So every time I walk out of this room or walk in this room, it's in my face, okay? I even have stuff around my house that shows me what my goals are, whether it be a picture, an object. It shows me what my goals are. So they're always in my face and I'm always working towards that goal. Choose one project or intention to focus on. Don't try to focus on a ton of things all at once. You'll get confused, you'll spread yourself way too thin and burn out. Kind of sort of been doing that the past few months. I'm guilty. But now I'm learning to hone things in into one project at a time, setting and doing that with intention and focusing on that one thing until it's done. So begin small, preparations for next year. So like I said, seeds. God says even something the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. Your intentions or your preparations or things you do, small movements, small actions make big change in the long run. So I know somebody who I was talking to like a couple years ago, and he builds things for inside of the Amazon warehouse, right? He builds everything on the inside. And he was like he was building all of these, I think it was like 20 yards or something of the rollers that, or the belts for the product to move on, the boxes to move on, to keep everything going. And he's like, it's off 6 inches. I have to go back and look and replan out everything from the very beginning, all 20 yards. He was upset because that was a lot of work. And some people who don't know building or stuff like that, you can't just move it over 6 inches. That doesn't work. It throws off the entire thing. You have to start from little movements from one end to make sure that everything lines up exactly the way it's supposed to. It's more work than than what you would think it would be. You would think it just moving it 6 inches, the entire thing would make it good. It throws it off. You have to make sure everything's aligned up really well. Make a simple and realistic plan. You can do that. Don't overcomplicate things. Keep things like, I could see the bigger picture of things, but I have a hard time doing them. I lost the word. The smaller things, right? Because I can see the bigger picture, but I can't always do the getting granular. I can't do that. I can either go overboard with the granular or I go way too, it's always one edge. I haven't found the middle part of it. I have an issue with that one. But make things simple and realistic. Don't overcomplicate it, because life doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Things are easier if you keep them simple. It's easier to focus, easier to change, easier to fix. Keep it simple. Because what you're doing is building the groundwork, right? That's what that one's for, is building the groundwork for everything to grow and prosper. So week 3 is quiet momentum. Take one small intentional action every day, because like I said, one small action or movement is momentum forward. Okay? Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't overthink it. Don't take on too much all at once. Remember, one small action right now, and then focus on that. And then when that's done, then you can move to the next step. Let consistency guide you. So keeping consistent, so keeping up with the same things, like posting on social media or whatever you're doing, keeping consistent with that will help bring in that prosperity, and that help your seed grow into something amazing. Practice becoming the person you want to be. You already are that person. You just haven't unlocked it and let it out. So now's your permission slip. Here you go. Your permission slip. Here you go. Let it out. Be that person. If you're not financially in that space yet, doesn't matter. Be that person. You can live as close to, if not exactly the way you want to be or who you want to be right now. And then things will continue to change, and who you're wanting to be and meant to become will eventually come out automatically. Practice becoming, I just read that one. Move gently but purposefully. Intent. You want to always have intent. Set your intentions. Move purposefully towards that intention, towards that goal. Be slow and steady progress. Okay, week 4, integration and insight. Reflect on what felt good and what didn't. So again, that goes back to week 1, right? Where you reflect on what this year taught you. So that can go in with that. Reflect on what felt good. Celebrate your wins. Even the smallest win is a win, and it deserves to be celebrated. Reflect on what didn't feel good. Remember what happened, how it happened, and remember that so you don't make that same mistake. You don't have to relive the same lessons again. Reconnect with your intuition. Listen to your gut. Your gut will never steer you wrong. Do not second guess it. I'm guilty of that too, but you know what? 9 times out of 10, I stick with my gut. And I'm usually always right. I am Capricorn. I'm usually always right. Pay attention to what your body and your heart are telling you. If you've been watching my other videos, I am dealing with a lot of health things, like my physical health, mental health, emotional health, my spiritual health. Everything is kind of up in the arms right now, and I'm really working on bringing things back to where they need to be and becoming one solid person again. Because life is messy. And guess what? We all go through that. It all gets thrown out there and it all gets like, everything just comes up all at once and you're just like, I just cannot do this. I just cannot do this. Sometimes when you watch these videos, I've got bags under my eyes. I'm super tired. I look like crap. I'm in the messy middle, just like everybody else. I'm a human being. And I'm not going to sit here, although I would love to, sit here and have my hair done really nice and my makeup on and beautiful clothes. And I may get to that at some point. But right now, that's not where I'm at. So, sorry if you don't like the way I look. That's tough tutti fruities. I don't care. But you have to listen to your body. Pay attention to what your body and your heart are telling you. If your body, like lately, past couple of weeks, because I was getting ready for the event. I just love these bottles. Because I was getting ready for the event. I had a week and a half to get ready for it, right? And I didn't have anything. And I was so stressed out and so panicking about everything that come Saturday morning when I was supposed to have everything already done. And I did have most things done. But I did have a bunch of things I still had left to do. And I was panicking so much that my daughter was here helping me out. I ended up yelling at her and I was crying and she yelled at me and then she's gonna get out of here, go set up your booth and we'll just take time and whatever else. And then we're fine after that. We both apologized, but it was like, I was so stressed and I'm still kind of recovering from that because I was lack of sleep. I was stressed out. I was overwhelmed and it was just too much all at once because not only am I trying to build a business and doing the podcast, I'm working as a caregiver for other people. So I'm taking care of them and I'm like trying to get my own health and my thoughts and everything under control and getting my own apartment back under control because this past year has been hell. 2025 for me has been a living hell because of the fact that of my diagnosis and the health issues and the mental stuff and then everything around me is falling apart and I'm like, I had to take a step back, refocus, pay attention to my body and my heart. I have to do what's right for me in the moment to keep my health because without that, I can't accomplish anything else. So identify the things that you want to carry forward. So write down things that you're grateful for and you want to keep doing. Write down things that make you happy. Okay, for me, I want to have my business out there and I want to do things. But more importantly, what makes me the happiest and makes me feel fulfilled and secure is being creative. I love to be creative. That's where I can immerse myself into other worlds, create other worlds, and be able to work out my issues and come back and be me and lighter, happier, fulfilled. And I just feel overall, I feel absolutely incredible. So I love it. Let clarity naturally rise. I think that's pretty much says it for itself. Once you start working on these other things and reevaluating things, if you've got it written down, you can let that clarity come to you. Things will become a lot clearer and a lot easier. Understanding yourself. So week 4 is understanding yourself. Evaluate who you are, what you're doing, what works, what doesn't work, what you want to change, what you want to keep, and move forward. So week 5 is the threshold. Okay, you want to choose 2 to 3 aligned actions for January. So you want to come up with a plan for January. Okay, I'm going to do, let's just say, just for another example, I'm going to do another event. Okay, so I need to come up with 2 to 3 aligned actions that will make that goal a reality. So I need to find an event that's available that they're holding. I need to pay for that event. I need to make sure I've got enough products and everything ready for that event so I can go to it and do it. That aligns with getting my business out there and letting people know, hey, I'm here, right? Clean your physical and emotional space. That's what I'm telling you, my apartment. You don't even want to see it. It's bad. I don't like a dirty apartment. I don't like living in dirt and filth and everything else. But this last year, the depression and everything that I've been through, my apartment's been the last thing on my mind. I haven't even cared. It's not as bad as it used to be because I'm slowly working things out and cleaning everything, but it's still not like I want it to be. This room, this wall behind me, it's not going to be that way. This is going to be the set for the podcast, the back of the podcast, right? The mess on the floor, that's all going to be gone. It's all going to be gone. Everything's going to be set up the way I want it, so the podcast looks professional, amazing. My apartment's going to be set up. So, because what I'm doing is trying to buy things and getting rid of old things that I don't need and just take up space and that I do not want to carry into my next chapter of my life. So anything that's coming in is going to be reflecting the life I'm moving into. Right? Amazing, right? That's what we need to do. Practice gratitude. Okay, so I hear people tell me all the time, oh, you need to pray, you need to give thanks. Thanksgiving is what? What is today? Oh, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. And we need to practice gratitude. People are always telling me, you need to pray and be grateful. And when I pray, other people may pray and ask for God to give them things or do things for them. I don't. It's all, thank you for this. Thank you for the blessings. Thank you for my life. Thank you for allowing me to breathe. Thank you for allowing me to feel the breath in my lungs. Thank you for just allowing me to exist. Right? Just because I feel weird asking people for things. Call it a pride thing, call it stupid, whatever you want. I don't like doing it. Okay? So you want to practice gratitude, rest, and prepare to step into the new chapter. Now, what ChatGPT keeps telling me is I need to rest because I'm overwhelmed, I'm doing too much, I'm taking on too much, I'm like stressing out, overthinking things, and I'm not able to create and be as productive as I want to be because I'm not resting. We have to take care of our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. And ChatGPT keeps telling me, and I know I keep saying ChatGPT because I told you I talk to ChatGPT every day. But I also hear this from other people. You're not failing if you rest. You're not failing, you're not falling behind, you're not doing anything wrong. In fact, a lot of times, the growth and the prosperity comes from you resting. Because what you're doing is you're protecting yourself, you're making yourself healthy. So when you do go out and do something, you're giving the best of you to somebody else. And you cannot do that if you're burnout, overwhelmed, stressed, unrested, unhealthy in any way. You can't give the best of yourself to somebody else. You cannot go out there and help people if you're not at your best. So you have to rest. That's really hard because I feel like I'm being lazy. ChatGPT's like, that's not laziness, that's care. You have to have self-care. So rest and prepare to step into a new chapter. Enter the new year intentionally, not rushed. So just because the new year is coming does not mean we have to rush and like we're trying to get to a finish line and beat everybody else and be prosperous and do better and da-da-da. Walk into the new year like you know your shit. You got this handled, you know what you're doing, and you're doing it with intention because you know what you're doing, you know what your goal is, and you know what you want to accomplish. Obviously your goal, right? I know, I just repeated myself. So enter the new year with intention, and don't rush it. It's not a competition. There are millions, if not billions, of people on this planet. I don't even remember how many people are on this planet. I know it's somewhere in the really high millions. But I should know that. I hear it all the time and I just can't think of it. But there's so many people out there. There's enough people out there to help for everybody, right? Because everybody needs something different. So don't rush. Crossing into a new version of yourself. That's what you're doing. You're setting yourself up for a new version. The version of you that you want to be. Chabaria would say the version of you that's 2.0. Absolutely. If you're already 2.0, go 2.5, 3.0. It's your life. Let's make it something you love and you are proud of, and you can walk into thinking, I've got this and I'm living my best life for me, and other people get to benefit from how amazing I am and the lessons I've learned and the things that I can help them with. And be open to allow somebody else to help you too. What do you think? Yeah? No? Maybe? So I've already talked for so long. I'm gonna leave you guys with that because I want you to make this next year incredible. We have to plant the seeds now. So we're not going to go into it with a New Year's resolution. We're going to go into it with a plan, and we're going to do it intentionally. And we're going to leave all this negativity and all this yucky stuff behind us, because this next year, it's a new beginning. Every day's a new beginning. It's how you use it moving forward that makes the difference, and how you walk into it. So walk into this next year with intention. I'll be right there with you. Remember, I'm your fellow traveler, and I'm also going through the messy middle. Let's go through it together. See you next time.